I have a Troy-Bilt 8000 watt, 13,500 starting watts generator purchased new in 2008. The model hash code 0706264 type 0111E1. The previous model code and type I have discovered is the B&S Engine info. The generator model hash I used it last approximately 3 to 4 months ago and all okay. I doesn't have an hour meter, but I estimate that it doesn't have more than 50 to 75 hours on it, as it is just used when home power goes out. Hooked it up yesterday and generator runs, the rotor is turning and the brushes are good. I have a Fluke 115 True RMS Multimeter. Could you please tell me what to check next? Thanks, Wes. Hello. My name is. I'm going to assist you with this. What is the problem you are having with the genset? You mentioned all the things you did, but didn't say what the genset is or isn't doing.
No AC power output on the 120 or 220 circuit. Connected the brushes to a 12-volt battery per some instruction I found here, and I get approx 2 to 3 vac at receptacle. I get 5.1 volts across the exciter wires number 2 and 6.
Exactly what instructions did you follow? Remove the end cover of the genset, and disconnect the brush leads. Use an ohm meter, and get a resistance reading across the brushes. What reading do you get?
The instructions below from you to another person that had an issue. OHMS across brushes is 48.6 to 50.2. Expert, Hank F. Hello.
Testing the side of the plug that goes back to the stator, not the side that goes to the receptacles. Ohm from 11 blue to 22 red, then from 33 black to 44 gray.
My name is. I'm going to assist you with this. B is what is known as residual voltage. It is a somewhat difficult thing to understand, but if you are interested, I can put up a description of how the. It tells me that the rotor and stator are most likely intact, and that the problem is most likely in the. So let's start there. We are going to manually excite the field to check the integrity of the generator. Remove the end cover of the to access the brushes and voltage regulator, VR. Disconnect the brush wires. Pay attention to which wire goes to which brush. Make up 2 jumper wires that will attach to the brushes. Connect 1 jumper to the positive, outer, brush and to the positive terminal of a 12 volts battery. Connect the other jumper to the negative, inner, brush, but do not connect it to the battery at this time. Gain access to the AVR. There are 6 wires, 2 go to the brushes, number 4 is positive, number 2 is negative, 2 go to the sense winding, numbers 11 and 22, and the other 2 come from the winding, numbers 2 and 6. Gain access to the exciter wires. Start the set, and connect the negative jumper to the negative terminal of the battery. Set your meter to vac and measure the AC output at the receptacle of the set. It should be a minimum of 60 volts. Test the voltage across the 2 exciter wires. How much voltage is there? Set your meter to VDC and test the voltage at the brush wires that come from the AVR. Make sure you connect the positive lead to the positive wire. How much voltage is there? Disconnect the jumpers from the battery and shut the set down. 5-volt set works voltage regulator genset exciter.
The resistance across your brushes is way too high. It should be 7.5 to 9.3. You have a problem with the brushes and/or slip rings. Remove the brush holder and inspect the brushes. They should be worn into an even, smooth arch pattern, and should have no scratches or chip. The brushes should extend out of the brush holder a minimum of 3/8. Push the brushes into the brush holder and let them come back out a few times. They should slide in and out freely, with no sticking or binding. If they stick or bind, clean the brush holder with electrical contact cleaner. Do not use WD-40, carb cleaner, brake cleaner, etc. It is a good idea to clean the brush holder even if the brushes are not sticking. Now examine the slip rings. They are the two bands that the brushes ride on. They are made of copper and should be as shiny as a new penny. A light brown patina is normal, and should not be construed as damage. However, they should not be a dull black color. They should be smooth and not have any scratches or pits. If they are dirty, clean them by attaching a piece of Scotch-Brite pad to the end of a small stick and holding it to the brushes. Start the engine and let it run for a few seconds. Watch your fingers. Once the slip rings are clean, use an ohmmeter to ohm across the rings. They should read about 7.5 to 9.3 ohms.
Resistance across slip ring is 7.7 ohms, already cleaned with 320 grit automotive sandpaper. Brushes are clean, not binding at all, and have at least 3/8 of an inch of spring-loaded travel. I have also tried exciting it by using a 1/2 inch Milwaukee drill motor by connecting the 120 vac outlet and turning drill by hand. I check THR drill output with a Fluke meter and get approximately 0.850 volts when I spin by hand. I have a new set of brushes and holder ordered, and also a new voltage regulator that I hope to have mid-week.
Okay, it sounds like your brushes are worn.
Did you read my previous 9:59 p.m. response as the brushes met all the criteria you mentioned in your last answer? They are clean, have plenty of length, 3/8 of an inch plus, and move freely. The slip rings are clean and in good shape. The OHMs across my slip rings is 7.7. The brush OHMs of 48.6 to 50.2 is someone else's from a previous post that I found is your response that I copied and pasted.
You didn't say that the 48.6 to 50.2 were the results of someone else's test. I don't know why you would copy and paste someone else's response to begin with. I had asked you what the ohm reading across your brushes was, not someone else's. I still need to know what the ohms are across the brushes, with the brush block installed.
I copied and pasted a paste post of yours because you asked on your October 21, 2014 8:01 p.m. post exactly what instructions did you follow? The OHMs across the brushes with them installed is 9.0 to 9.1.
9 is still in spec, but if you were getting 7.7 directly on the slip rings, that is what you should be getting across the brushes. That indicates a possible contamination of the brushes. But since it is still in spec, it should not be an issue. If you are jumping 12 volts directly to the brushes, and still getting only 2 to 3 vac, then you have one of two issues. 1. A flying short in the rotor. 2. A damaged stator. Remove the end cover of the stator. Inside, on the right, you will see a terminal block with 3 screws. The wire color should be brown, white and blue. Remove all 3 wires from the terminal block, the wires that lead out of the stator to the receptacles, and jump 12 volts to the brushes again. Test for AC voltage from the brown screw to the blue screw, then the brown screw to the white screw, then the blue screw to the white screw. What are these three voltages? Now shut the engine down, and set your meter to ohms. With the three wires still disconnected, ohm from brown to blue, brown to white, and blue to white. Then ohm from white to a good frame ground. What readings do you get?
I posted a couple of pictures of the end I am working in. You say remove the stator cover? I have the plastic end cover off that gets me to the brushes and voltage regulator. There is no other cover other than the end head plate, and if I remove it the rotor will have no bearing supporting that end. Please clarify what I need to remove.
You have removed the right cover, the plastic one. They must have changed the design of this unit. There used to be a terminal block. The wires you need to test are the stator output wires. They are the ones inside the black loom at the bottom of the unit, and will lead up to the receptacle panel. You need to disconnect those wires to test. They may just have a plug now, rather than a terminal block.
It is a plug going to the panel instead of a terminal block. The wire colors I have at this plug are as follows: red, blue, black, gray, yellow/green. There are no white or brown wires. See pictures.
Are the wires marked with numbers? 11, 22, 33, 44?
No, they're not. Only have wire type and spec.
I have uploaded S schematic of this unit. I need you to compare your wiring to the 6-pin plug in the drawing, and tell me what color wires correspond to what numbers on the schematic. Click here to download the schematic. When the file swap page opens, click on the slow download button.
Wire color/numbers below per the schematic/wiring diagram. Red equals 22, blue equals 11, black equals 33, gray equals 44, yellow/green equals 0.
Sweet. Now we are cooking with white gas. Testing the side of the plug that goes back to the stator, not the side that goes to the receptacles, ohm from 11 blue to 22 red, then from 33 black to 44 gray. Then ohm from 11 blue to a clean spot on the engine, then from 33 black to a clean spot on the engine. Then ohm from 11 blue to 33 black. What readings do you get?
I just came in and will go back out and do this. But I would like to tell you what else I have done. I replaced the brush block and the voltage regulator with genuine B&S parts and still get about 3.2 VAC on the 110 side and about 7.0 VAC on the 220 side. I then shut it down and disconnected the brush wires and reconnected my jumper wires to flash it again, and now when I connect 12 VTC battery to the brushes I get 99.0 to 100.0 out of the 110 receptacle and about 200 VAC out of the 220 receptacle. Don't know if this helps, but off to OHM per your above instructions.
So by getting that good of voltage by jumping 12 volts to the brushes now, it means that your brushes were contaminated. But it is odd that it still will not produce power on its own. That leads me to believe one of three things is going on. 1. You have something connected wrong. 2. The new VR is bad. 3. The rotor is dead. Let me know how the windings test, and we will go from there.
11 blue to 22 red. 0.5 33 black to 44 gray. 0.6 11 blue to ground. 33 black to ground. 11 blue to 33 black.
Assuming your meter is accurate, those readings are a tad high. It should have read between 0.20 and 0.26 ohms. All of the are good, that is what you want on those. Are you sure you had the wires connected to the VR correctly? Let's try a complete system test. Gain access to the power regulator board, PRB. It is located inside the end cover of the generator, so you will need to remove the cover. There are 6 wires, 2 go to the brushes, numbers 1 and 4, 2 are the voltage sense wires, numbers 11 and 22, and the other 2 come from the exciter winding, numbers 2 and 6. Disconnect the brush wires. Pay attention to which wire goes to which brush. Set your meter to ohms, and place 1 lead to each brush. What reading do you get? Make up 2 jumper wires that will attach to the brushes, with a 5A fuse in one of the jumpers. Connect the fuse jumper to the positive, outer, brush and to the positive terminal of a 12 volts battery. Connect the other jumper to the negative, inner, brush, but do not connect it to the battery at this time. Gain access to the exciter wires. Start the set, and connect the negative jumper to the negative terminal of the battery. Set your meter to VAC and measure the AC output at the receptacle of the set. It should be a minimum of 60 volts. Test the voltage across the 2 exciter wires. There should be a minimum of 60 VAC. How much voltage is there? Set your meter to VDC and test the voltage at the brush wires that come from the PRB. Make sure you connect the positive lead to the positive wire. You should see at least 10 VDC. Disconnect the jumpers from the battery and shut the set down. How much voltage is there?
We'll do this tomorrow and get back to you as I have to get a in-line fuse holder.
Okay.
Okay, Hank, issue resolved. Went out this evening to go down your list 5 and the first item on the list was the issue. I had wires 11 and 22 hooked to the incorrect terminals on the voltage regulator. Swapped them, started and tested, and getting 116 VAC on the 110 outlets and 218 on the 220 outlet. Yeehaw. Really appreciate all of your help and patience. Do whatever you do to signal me for payment and I will gladly pay in tip. Thanks.
I'm glad that is all it was. It sure beats having to buy more parts. Thanks for using Just Answer, and please don't forget to leave me an appropriate rating.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert, now visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.